you planning on riding the festive 500 challenge over this Christmas? And you want one of those roundels, the ones that Rafa used to give away but don't anymore? No worries, Harrison Fund are doing them if you raise £100 towards research into Duchenne disease. Here we see Nick Pelsig with 2 sons, both suffering from it, who won't reach adulthood. Just ride 500 kilometres, raise £100 and get the badge. Why not sign up now? Here we are with the excitement of another West London Wednesday, race 4.5, starting in 3 minutes 27. It's called the Bath Tap. It's because it goes along the Bath Road at Taplow, and currently on my screen I haven't got any pictures of who's on the start, so I'm sure those are coming up momentarily. But this race is going to be quite interesting. It's a 4-lap race, 18.7 kilometres, which is slightly longer than usual, and we will, as I say, be doing 4 laps. Now it starts near the top of one of the climbs, you can see there, goes down the big hill and then along the straight back up the hill. As you see, that's the hill down, this is the flat, and then this is the climb back up to Taplow village. We're dropping down that hill, Berry Lane, along the Bath Road up to Taplow. So Bath Road, Taplow. Now this road we're on now is the climb, and the finish is just before the top of the climb. So it's an uphill finish and a slightly uphill start before we do that left-hand bend down Berry Lane for the big descent. You can see there on the map the long line going from the top right-hand corner down across the screen is the railway, the Great Western Railway. On the right you can see the River Thames going upwards from the bottom right hand corner upwards. So you've got a rough idea. The town on the right is Maidenhead. On the left you can see the beginnings of Taplow and Burnham, which are part of the Slough overflow, and this is the little bit of green in between Slough and Maidenhead's built up areas. So as I say, Taplow there you can see in the blue is at the top of the hill. So we start and we go straight down Berry Lane, which is going to be quite fast. After I say we start, we have to go up a little bit to get to the top of Berry Lane, and then down that fast bit, flat along the fast straight, and then a gentle climb back up to the finish. I think this will affect the sprint at the end. I don't think the climb is steep enough to absolutely flummox anybody, but at the same time not everybody likes an uphill sprint. So here we are. You can see on the start line we have plenty of people lined up. I think the number's a little bit down today. 74 riders online, so that's fine, not too bad. We have had some people come in and say that they've got COVID and aren't going to be here tonight. 1 minute to go, by the way. So if you got this on while you're in the garage, kitchen, front room, or wherever you are cycling, start warming up now. Remember, with about 5 or 6 seconds to go, you need to be pedaling hard. And remember, this is uphill off the start, so you know, it is not going to be quite the same as usual, because I don't think everybody will cope with that uphillness at the beginning. Nice to see Gautam Thakkar in there, Andy Beale, Tim Cummins, all people who live around me, Kevin Unsworth, good to see you, Kevin. Tom Moss in there, Claire Miller from Twickenham CC, and a big shout out to Claire Miller, as you can see there. She's riding with COVID today. I think this is immense. Well done, Claire. Fantastic. Her teammate Lisa West is, I believe, watching on the stream. So hi there, Lisa, if you're watching out. Again from Twickenham Cycling Club there in West London. Claire Thompson we see in the list there. Claire is another addition to the Ladies League. I think we should have about half a dozen in the Ladies League today. And we're counting down. There's not long to go. We've only got 5, 4, 3. Here we go. 2, 1. Bang! And here they come, about to run over the cameraman. So off in the peloton's looking quite. There's a few off the back there, but that's held quite together at the front, especially given the uphill nature of that. That's not bad. And we see Mr. Green from Watford up there at the front now. Watford Velo. I think they're putting a strong performance. Their inaugural season. in this competition. So as I say, I think Watford are going to turn out to be one of the good teams in this, so well done. Kader Aluni I see in there, Nick Greenhalgh, Ned Bowen, of course, Jan Linden. Now, if we look at the top of the leaderboard, I mean, I think that probably people in the top dozen are all within a shout of this, because remember, if somebody misses a race, as Nick Greenhalgh, the reigning champion, has, you know, it can all change at the top. So names to look out for who are in the leading batch: Wouter Claes from Belgium, Ned Bowen from the USA, John Sammut from the UK, James Melville from Scotland, James Curry from Southport District Wheelers, and Jan van der Linden from the Netherlands, Carlos Sella from Madrid in Spain, Jared Miller from the UK, Matthias Bergqvist from Sweden, Alistair McAlpine from Scotland, Mario Savalas from from Deutschland, Germany, Sean Murdoch from the UK, Mike Adey and Miles Askew, Paul Hinson following through. So we've got a decent batch in this. Now, despite that uphill finish, people have stayed in there. I see Nick Greenhalgh off the front here. Nick's going to need a few good results to get back into the scheme of things and retain his title, having missed that race, which was very unfortunate. But in fact, when he won the championship last year, he was away for one of the races and known he was in the running, had to beg, borrow or steal, I can't remember, Nick will tell you, somebody's trainer and bike, and did it while he was on holiday using somebody else's equipment. So Matt Feely up there in 7th, I can see. These are all regular names that we recognise. James Curry. James Curry has been a revelation in this series, new to the series, and has won races already up there for Southport Wheelers in the running. So this is quite interesting. Now, this is 4 laps today, so we're going to have to do everything. Well, I think there's probably when you do the hill 4 times. Having done sort of a tiny bit of it at the beginning, you probably only have to do 3.75 from now in. So we're 2 kilometres in. We're with Scott Gleeson here, who is off the front from the USA, and putting in a sterling performance there, just ahead of Jared Miller. Now we're on the Bath Road. This is the in the old days, before we had motorways or auto routes, highways, whatever you want to call them, this was the main road from London to Bristol and to South Wales. We're going along here. It's flat. It's basically following the River Thames Valley. We're about to do this sharp left at Burnham, and it's a gentle climb that you will start seeing towards the end. You can see at the bottom of your screen, you've got the profile. The big blob, the big white blob, is the peloton. Well, it's the rider we're following, but the rider we're following is clearly in the peloton at the moment. And you can see how flat it is, and you just get this gentle rise coming up as soon as we do this turn. It should start about now. And you'll see the gradient in the top right-hand corner went from sort of minus 0.2, varying a little bit, but it's now 1%. And this is a gradual climb, and if you look at the bottom of your screen, it's green where it's reasonably flat, and it gets yellower and then orange and then very red if it's very, very steep. So you can see nothing's particularly steep, but you can see towards the end of the lap is where it gets the most orangey. So the just towards the finish is the most orangey bit of it, and that's going to be the steepest bit. But this peloton holding together quite nicely here. We've got 75 riders online. My picture's just frozen. I hope yours isn't, but no, it's back on again. So I'm looking at this. I mean, I think there's a good 40 odd riders in this peloton, probably more actually. Thinking about it, there might be as many as 50 out of the 75 out there in the field. Now, some of the jerseys to look out for. The right in the centre of your screen there, you've got the white shirt with the green band across it, and yeah, we have a few problems here, aren't we? So that's the Moon Riders team. Now you see the red here with the white stripe across the back. That's the Denmark cycling team. So they're Sneaky Day. I think it's Electronic Cycling Club Denmark, or Denmark as they would say. The yellow, those are absolutely brilliant yellow, black and red jerseys. Southport District Wheelers. They're down from Tunbridge in Kent, Tunbridge Wells, I should say. If you're not from the area, you'll know that there's 2 towns down there. There's Tunbridge Wells, spelt with a U, and Tunbridge, spelt with an O, which I reminded myself on the weekend because I saw that Tunbridge Angels lost 2-1 to Slough Town in the National League Southern League. Now, I won't go into why I was looking at that particular result, but there we are. Casper Hederdam, one of our regular riders, pushing out the front for the E-Cycling Club of Denmark, and a very accomplished rider is Casper. Now, he does like to push off the front, and we're seeing that Mr. Gleeson does as well, doesn't he? So that's quite a push at the front. Again, you're looking at one of those regular jerseys that you see in the Scott Gleeson in there from the USA. You can see he's got a teammate with Jan Linden. These are Pokemotion, I would assume they're both riding for. Teams to look out for. So, as I say, there is a team competition as well. Currently, Moon Riders. Nick Giles cheering on for Pokemotion. Nick Giles is the man behind Pokemotion, I believe. You could confirm that, Nick, but I think you're the main man, if I remember rightly, and I've got my facts right. So thanks for tuning in, Nick. Great to hear from you, and thanks for the note. Pokemotion currently in second in the team competition as well. Moon Riders in first. There's only 15 points in it, so not a lot, and it's quite close. I think the top 7, and let's just read down what we've got here. Moon Riders in first, Pokemotion second, Glasgow United. Now, Glasgow United, you will see. We'll put their jerseys out for you shortly. Scott Gleeson still pushing off the front, and he's causing a bit of damage by the looks of things there as they go down the slope. So they're on Berry Hill, and I think quite often though you can make a descent work, but like usually if you've got good riders, they will make up the difference. This is interesting. Let's see what happens. I mean, we've got a gap of Rocket Roy Neild here from Manchester, and Roy Rocket Neild doing very, very well. And he's what's he doing? Pushing out 200 watts. Well, as I say, 200 watt, you would expect this. I mean, we're looking at minus 2.2 as we go down Berry Hill. Now we're about to get to the bottom of Berry Hill, and it will even out and flatten out. So let's see if it's done some serious damage. That peloton looks a bit thinner to me. And that's interesting that it was done on the descent and not the climb. You can see a little clutch of riders just behind. Now, if they work together, maybe they can pull together. We see Wouter Claes here from Elvit in Belgium, pushing out 284 now with on the flat. And let's see here. Oh, this is there's definitely people punching out at the front, isn't there? Jan Linden, Pokemotion. Pokemotion just 15 points behind Moon Riders. Moon Riders actually have 2 teams in the competition. We're talking about the Moon Riders first team. Glasgow United are in the rider that just went underneath you there, James Melville at first place in the red, white and black jersey. There's only 2 riders in the Glasgow United team. The way it works is your first 2 riders over the line score points, but you can enter 4, so you can have 4 riders in the team. And if you, as I say, the first 2 over count, so if only 2 turn up, you'll find you can still maximise your points. Kader Lumi off the front there, Kader from the UK, and quite an accomplished rider. Another Pokemotion rider, of course, and I think Pokemotion all wear that same kit, don't they? The UK team jerseys. So we've got 2 screens. Nick Giles. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt Pokemotion have got a good team in there, mate. I think you should definitely be going for this championship. Just 15 behind the Moon Riders, and actually 47 points ahead of Glasgow United, which is made up of Alistair McAlpine and James Melville in those red, white, and black kits. Jerome Beribi is pushing out 290 watts on the front. I've done that in a French accent, but I don't think it's a very French flag I'm looking at, is it? So it's probably mispronounced entirely. Simon Hall just behind from Watford, pushing out Watford Velo. So I'm just trying to see how. You see there's people coming off the back again, and we're just about to go around that bend and start the ascent again. You can see that as soon as you go around that bend, it jumps up to 1%. I'm not suggesting that, as we see Simon Hall from Watford Velo pushing out 250 odd watts. James Melville doing one of his characteristic punches off the front, but King is from 3Rs. 3Rs haven't actually got a team in here, but they are one of the regular racing teams on RGT. Now, if we look along the bottom, we can see the field is reasonably strung out, and this is getting an ever smaller peloton at the front. Now, the big white blob is what we're looking at, and there are some blobs, smaller blobs in front of those, but those will be riders we're probably about to lap. And you can just see here as we go whizzing past somebody who is obviously a lap or so behind. Now this group here is 36 to 42 by the looks of things. We've got Ian Sudds in there, Kevin Unsworth, Tomasz Poniatowski from Poland. Now this is what happens if you do get dropped out of the main group. What you do is you end up in these little groups, and you're almost better sometimes waiting, slowing down and letting the little group catch you up and getting into it. Because if you all work together, as we go past another back marker, if you walked at Pat Aaron in there at 35th, again with actually I'm just a little bit surprised. That they're that far back actually. Just having a look at this, they are just trying to work out how many groups there are now, because this is quite spread, and I think there's damage done both on the ascents and the descents here. So let's have a look. So Sean Murdo is pushing out there 400 watts. So this is hard going. Rasmus Feldball from Denmark now taking up the lead on the front. They're putting out a fair old bit of watts here at 400. Carlos Sella, another accomplished a man who's actually in with the shout of this championship from Madrid in Spain. And Carlos has, when Carlos wins a race, let me tell you, it is memorable. It's quite a run. Tom Moss for Southborough now taking the turn on the front. I think everybody's just going to do their little overshoots, do a little bit on the front, and let the peloton swallow them up and take a breather for a little while. I say that we're just going on to the orange bit as Tom Moss ups the ante. It is probably worth a little bit of a push here, because if you can drop one or two riders off the back, you're forever losing a few riders on the front. Got Slovenian Robert Jenko with Tom. They work together. They pulled out a 15-metre gap there. My suspicion is that won't hold. I don't think two versus a peloton, the size of the peloton behind them, is going to work. But it's not, as I say, it's not to no avail, because somebody is likely to drop off the back of that group, and the thinner that group gets over the laps, and bear in mind we've just gone through the halfway stage. You can see there just two riders that seem to have fallen off the back as we go round that bend, and we start the descent down Berry Hill. Down what geographically is the Taplow Terrace, and I don't know if the geographers amongst you will be aware of that, but it's apparently amongst people who study topography quite a notable valley side, because it goes up in steps along the side of the Thames, I'm told. So 8.6 kilometres remaining, with Nick Greenhalgh, Horacio Racing in that familiar orange and black kit that they have. Alongside, as we see John Sammet riding again for Pokemotion. So I'm sure Nick Giles is getting very excited. See a couple of Pokemotion jerseys in there. So three. I can see three Pokemotion jerseys in that. As Halgaard, another one of the Denmark riders, goes off the front. Denmark, they really have taken to RGT, and I think they're going to be one of these strong nations. Nicky Højgaard. And they, so I think they came. They'll tell you better. I mean, there's always been Danish riders in this, but I think this year they've really embraced RGT, and they hold their own races now, very well attended. Absolutely fantastic what's happened in Denmark with RGT, and they do seem to produce some very strong riders. You can see in your split screen there the route, as you can see, this triangular route. And Taplow's at the top of the hill. You go down the hill, along the flat, and then back up the hill. It is going to be an uphill finish. Now Jan Linden is pushing off the front. Now he's created quite a gap there, and that's notable. I mean, it is on the flat section. Again, as I say, I don't think any of this is Rasmus Feldball picking him up. And Jan van der Linden is swallowed up. It's Hugh Gleason off the front now. Kato Lumi just behind him. I wonder if we can pick up how many of the ladies are doing. I don't know where they are at the moment. We have, as far as I'm aware, riding in this one, Claire Miller, Claire Thompson, Linda Van Dijk, Wendy Wonderwheels, and Ellen Lockhart are the names to look out for. Now, the way this is going to work is that the ladies will score points to where they finish in the race, but their results will go in the main race as well. But we're going to pull them out and have a ladies' competition, see who the best lady is. But here's the thing, you only have to do 6 riders there. So here's Ellen Lockhart. Now, she is in 51st position out of 75 riders. Now, I have to say, I know Ellen, so I can tell you, and she's there with Copeland Thackard, I see. I'm sure they know each other. Now, Ellen is fantastic. She's a very strong rider, but she has, through injuries, got a slight problem, and she is one of these ladies who can go out there and beat the blokes and doesn't even use drop handlebars because of a hand injury. She has to have flat handlebars, and it's more upright than everybody else and still beats most of the blokes. So go on, Ellen, more power to your elbow. Let's see if we can see some of the Twickenham ladies in this. We've certainly got Claire Miller and Claire Thompson from Twickenham riding today. Lisa West, hopefully watching online. So who have we got here? This is Claire Miller, 65th. So she's not that far behind Ellen, and not to worry anyway, because Claire has got points from previous races. This is Ellen's debut, so get in there. I'm sure Claire's not listening to me. I see my mate Stuart Thorne's in there, Coco Maisie in there as well, in that little group. If you can get on Stuart's wheel, Claire, I think you'll be all right. Mind you, he's a bit knackered. He did his first 200k Audax last weekend, did Stuart, so he might not be as fast as he usually is. But I think, Claire, if you can get stuck in one of those male groups, which I think Ellen's making use of just ahead of you, it is good. And any guys here's Claire Thompson, new from Twickenham CC. A little bit, unfortunately, off Gavin Grant, who is... I think, Gavin, you should wait for your teammate here, mate. It's Gavin Grant from Twickenham as well in 70th. You should wait and give Claire a tow, help her along. Clearly not. It is Claire's first race, and I think the first time you do one of these, we all find out that the start's a bit fast, and if you get dropped off at the start, then you are going to struggle to get back on a group, and that's kind of the way it is. It was interesting talking to a lot of new riders in this particular series, Series 4, how many had not anticipated just how harsh those starts were, got dropped, but a few races into the series had got the knack of it and were doing well. Now, Rasmus Feldball, who does like a bit of an attack off the front, I'll tell you what, the old Danish riders, they are fantastic, aren't they? Casper headed them as well. They do like to push off the front, as does John Sammet, who overtakes a back marker there, chasing down Rasmus. Robert Yenko just behind him, and Jared, is that Jared Miller? I'm not sure, I don't think it is, because I think Jared Miller's got a UK flag. So it's this is fragmenting a little bit, isn't it? This is interesting because we're just going over the top of the hill a bit, and I think this is yeah, it is Jared Miller. Sorry, so Jared Miller's changed his flag to New Zealand, so I need to probably correct that on the results. Yeah, give me an email if I forget to do that. This is fragmenting a little bit as they've just done the hill, and now they're going to turn into the that Berry Hill descent. Now, again, the descent has done some damage, so in the past. So let's see what happens. But this is now getting strung out. So this is, and I think if you look at Rasmus Feldball's, now if you look at the bottom here, they're going down the blue bit, which shows the steep descent. It's getting slightly less blue, so but there's a gap. There's a clear gap between the leaders. Now we've got 3 out the front: Robert Jenko, Rasmus Feldbull, and John Sammer are just pushing away. Nick Greenhouse leading the chase, but the chase itself is fragmenting the next batch. This is going to get thinner and thinner, I think. 3.8 to go. We're on the last lap, and remember, as we go round, we're going to go around this bend onto the flat. We're then going to go along the flat, along the Bath Road, before that last climb. Now Nick Greenhouse seems to be pulling back to the first 3, but he's split the group, and we're down to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about a dozen riders here. Well, the other group actually behind looks like he might be catching, but Rasmus is putting on the pressure at the front, and maybe just pulling away. This might not be a bad move because, let's say, Robert Jenko is behind him. Wouter Clay's leading down the chase. Now, Wouter will have a vested interest in this because he's the current leader of the individuals competition, and it's very, very tight up there. Where's Ned Bowen? Ned Bowen's in 9th, so he's not out of it yet. Now, Ned Bowen is the king sprinter. He is a very canny sprinter, but the uphill might not suit him. But he's not losing sight of the leaders. I think Stuart Gleeson might just be about to... this is getting interesting, isn't it? We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, probably about 17 riders off the front who are going to contest this. Christophe Contant, Canadoni Robin, and all the riders. Nice to see you, Christophe. Hope everything's fine down there in the Rhone Valley, and so forth. Go, John. That's John Sandler. Thanks, Nick. Let's see what happens. This is getting quite thrilling now, isn't it? So we're just going to end we're just coming to the end of the flat here with, as I say, probably what have we got? Something like 19 riders contesting this by the looks of it. 18 riders contesting it, sorry. Maybe 19 if they catch up. Now Wouter Clays is pushing out. He's got 10 metres. He's on the flat. I mean, look at that. This is strung now. We've now got 4 riders contesting this: Rasmus Feldbull, Stuart Gleeson, Wouter Clays, and Robert Jenko from Slovenia. This is probably a group that's going to contest that hill climb now, and we're probably going to see if Wouter Clays can stay in this group, and Ned Bowen in the group with Kader Alumi just behind can't catch on this climb. Nick Giles still 3 at the pointy end. I take it that's 3 Pocomotion riders there, Nick. Fantastic stuff. Look at Rasmus going. He's really pushing for this. We've got up to 5 in that front group now. We've got Kader Alumi's group just behind, and what's that gap? I mean, we're looking at, Jared Miller is about 50 metres behind this front group of 5. He's putting along, you see Kader Alumi in there, which I think rides for Pocomotion. If Nick will correct me if I'm wrong. And got James Melville in there, and who else have we got in there? I can't see Ned Bowen in that group, which is interesting, because if Ned doesn't get a good result in this one, that opens things up a little bit for Wouter. I might be wrong. Ned's brilliant. Oh, he is. Hang on. So where's Ned Bowen? 16th. So Ned is in that group. I'll take that all back. So Ned's quite a canny rider. Nick Greenhouse in there. Yeah, now I can see Ned now in the red kit. Daniel Nujba from Germany, Matthias Bergqvist from Sweden, Kader Alumi, Nick Greenhouse, Ned Bowen sitting there. As smart as ever. I don't think Ned's going to go out in front and chase the other group. Now the main group are probably halfway up the climb, but yet to do the steep bit. Wouter Clays, and we've still got 5 of them in that group. We haven't shed anybody. We're about to we're approaching the steeper bit of it. And I wonder if somebody's going to go for a big attack on the steep bit, because I think if you get past the little brown section, look in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, if you get past the brown section with maybe 10 to 20 metres, it's probably enough to carry you to the finishing line. This is going to be intense, and Rasmus has gone for it. Rasmus Feldball. Now, as I say, these Danes do like an attack. Stuart Gleeson not having any of that outer clays, pushing up for Moon Riders. Robert Jenko from Slovenian now gliding past without the clays. Will Wout sit on his wheel and take advantage and try and catch up? No, Robert's pulling away. John Sammet now is on Wouter's wheels. Now, Rasmus has pulled out a little bit, but Robert Jenko is... Now, Robert Jenko for Slovenia is the man who is pushing away on the tough bit of the climb. This is going to be a phenomenal finish if he does this one. He can see the finishing line. He's got 23 metres on Rasmus Feldball. Look at Stuart Gleeson go. He's going for second place. Will he catch Robert Jenko? He's not going to do it on the line, I don't think. There's not enough there. Stuart Gleeson coming in a very, very impressive second. And Johnson, it's absolutely fun. Robert Jenko, well, I take my hat off to that finish, and we saw Jon Sammet got 5th place. Wouter Clays picking up points in 4th place. We'll have the full classified results coming up. Well, that was a phenomenal little finish. As we see King coming in, Hammond crossing the line there in 17th and 18th places. Rube and Alistair McAlpine coming in 20th, a little bit further back than he would normally come. I see Casper Heddenham at 22nd, Tom Moss at 23rd. Simon Hall for Watford is coming in at 25th. Casper Heddenham just crossing the line there. Who else? We've got Julian Fussell coming in at 29th with 20 metres to go for Southborough District Wheelers. Paul Hinson, 500 metres to go in 33rd. Now it'll be interesting to see who of the ladies come in next. I can't give you team positions and everything else like that during the commentary. If you look on our website at www.westlondoncycling.com, I will probably later on around midnight UK time have all the team positions, ladies positions and overall general classification positions up there. But what we can give you is the classified results so far. Robert Jenko coming in, Scott Gleeson, sorry I said it was Stuart Gleeson, it's Scott Gleeson, wasn't it, of course. Rasmus Feldball, Wouter Clays, John Sammet, Jared Miller, Carlos Sella, Nick Greenhouse, Ned Bowen just hanging in there, probably not his sort of race. Great ride from Kader Alumi for Pocomotion. I'm sure Nick will be delighted with that. As we see one of the Twickenham riders coming in 31st. Not a bad result. That's pretty respectable, and I think they'll be pleased with that down at Twickenham. Their first season, I think they're getting... they hadn't used RGT before, to my knowledge, and I think they're all just getting into it and liking it. So looking at 11th, Greg Barnett, Jan Linden for Pocomotion again. So Pocomotion, as Nick said, got people at the point in. Matthias Bergqvist from Sweden. James Millville, Glasgow United at 14th. Not great time. I mean, the time gap's probably about a minute over the top 20. Jerome Berube, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, is 19th, just behind King from 3R, Matthew Hammond above that. Daniel Nurschbach from Germany, just behind Mark Rowbottom from Ratio Racing, who's just behind James Melville, Glasgow United. Ian Sudd's just coming in at 40th place now, and just looking out, I was probably reading out the results, and I do wonder if I've missed Ellen Lockhart somewhere. Alistair McAlpine, because she was 35th when we last looked, wasn't she? Duffy Jones coming in for Southborough District Wheelers with the Scottish Saltar. Who have we got here? Simon Miller coming in at 43. Marcin Skrzerek from Wrocław in Poland. Verghut, Matthias is it Matthias? I think it is. Simon Hall for Watford at 26, just behind Tom Moss. James Curry down at 23rd. Now James has had some great results, so he'll probably be a tad disappointed with that. But as I say, I think this really did break up. Mike Addy will probably be a tad disappointed with 29th there as well. Nicky Hugard coming in at 27 minutes in 30th place, as we see one of the Danes coming in at 47th here. Still looking. Ellen Lockhart is 32 metres from the finish. So I think Ellen's probably the first lady across the line, and she's taken 51st position, which is very, very good. And if she is the leader of the ladies today, that will put her in a strong position. Stuart Thorne coming in at 26th. Gautam Thakkar at 55. Romberg and Kay Renard at 56. You see, as I said, Ellen coming in at 51st, just ahead of Kay Renard. She is a strong rider, and I think she's going to have a good chance in this. Let's see where some of the Twickenham ladies might be. I'm just trying to look down the list, and I can't quite read it. Paul Nicholas, great race, nice work, Dave. Thank you, Paul Nichols. Sorry, I'll get it all right in a minute. Thank you, Nick, and thanks for putting your Pokemotion stars into this race. We love having you on board, and keep up the good work down there at Pokemotion as well. So just looking at some of the other names coming across the line, Tim Cummins at 61st, Coco Maisie at 60, Rafa Nunez at 58th, just behind Gautam Thakkar, Martin Wilson, Stuart Thorne, Blomberg. Did I see Jacek Robac in there? I hadn't realised you were riding, Jacek. My goodness, haven't seen you for. Used to live in the UK and lives in Poland now. Jacek, in his younger days, was a professional racer in Poland, and I haven't seen him probably for about 18 months to 2 years now since he moved back to Poland. And here you are in the race. I'm going to message you, Jacek, after this race. Thanks for being here. Daryl Green from Watford in 36th, Pat Heron just ahead of him. Thomas Bonatowski. Moon Riders, 37th. Matt Feely, the Irish rider. Andrew Beale is on a good run at the moment, 39th. He's hitting those sort of like late 30s positions on a regular basis, just pipping Ian Sudds for 30th in the classification. So looking at the ladies, again, I see Claire Miller's in 65th. I haven't picked out Claire Thompson. She's probably a little bit behind that. And we'll have to see who else we've got. I can't quite pick out any of the other ladies I was expecting to see. Wendy Wonderwheels and Linda Van Dyke were the other two. Mike Buckhurst coming in 64. Love Mike. He does this in his lunch hour from California. Claire Miller coming in 65th. Well done, Claire. Brilliant ride. Great to see you back here picking up some points for the Twickenham ladies team. Claire Thompson with just 470. Karen Bailey, and she's coming in 60. Where am I looking here? It's Karen Bailey, 66. I'll have to add you into the ladies thing there, Karen, because I didn't have you as an entrant. If you are a female rider and you're watching this, the way I have to do this to have the ladies competition is I have to know that you're riding to pull your results out from the final results and then create the ladies league. So I'll pull you out, Karen, and put you into the ladies league. But if you want to do that, you need to email me, and there's details on, if you look at the Series 4 details on www.westlondoncycling.com, it will give you the email address, which is westerdlydm@gmail. Not that you'll remember that or spell it right, but I do need ladies to give me their names so that I can actually pull their results out and create the ladies league. So the ladies league, you don't have to ride every race, it's the best of 6. There is also a men's Gavin Grant coming in there for Twickenham, and Lisa, if you're watching, can you tell me why Gavin always has a French does he live in France, or does he live in Twickenham and is just a bit of a francophile? But if you don't put anything up, I'll ask him. But well done, Gavin, coming just ahead of his teammate Claire, who's got a little way to go, but we'll wait for you to finish, Claire, because that's what we do here. And I'm sure I think everybody, that when they start this, they they struggle off the back in the first few races, and they get the knack of it. They learn their pace, and they learn how to tuck into groups and do better. So keep going, Claire, and finish, because it's going to need your points. So do it for the Twickenham ladies. Gavin coming in here with the French flag. I'm not quite sure why Gavin's got a French flag, but maybe he lives in France. We'll have to. I'll ask him before the next race. Oh, he's just been pipped at the line. That's a bit Bit cheeky. Yeah, that's a bit cheeky, Mr. Murto, but well done. You get yourself an extra point. Sean Murto clocking up that extra point by pipping Gavin right at the end. Oh no, my goodness, what's happened? Something's gone wrong. Oh no. That's not good, is it? Or are you past the finishing line? Oh, something's gone wrong. Oh no. Gavin's got his place back. It looks like a bit of a technical for Sean Murto's got a technical, and just that close to the line is a bit unfair, isn't it? Technical is basically a mechanical, but we call it a technical because of the dropout effect. Is it? Come on, Sean, see if you can get that back. Don't give up, Sean. Just keep going. I don't think Claire's going to catch you. I think she's got 3k to go. We're going to watch Claire. Oh, look at that, Claire. That's not fair. It's raining on you now, girl. Not only have you got more to go than everybody else. You're under 3k to go. So, as I say, if Sean doesn't get himself going soon, you might actually pip him over the line. That will be interesting. So, Robert Jenko is the star of the day, Slovenia, and I think, as I've said in some of the other commentaries in this series and other races we commentary. By the way, Southport District Wheelers, those guys in those fancy red, black and yellow jerseys, they got their Friday Frenzy race on Friday evening, so look out for that one. Friday Frenzy, brought to you by Southport District Wheelers. We've got a big weekend with the Echelon racing as well. Now, Echelon run these races based on US courses. 4 o'clock this Saturday and 4 o'clock this Sunday, 2 Echelon races. Now, on alternate weekends, there's pro races. So last weekend it was pro races. We're back to the the rest of us races, or amateurs, or whatever you want to call us. So you can all enter the Echelon races. They're here on ZMS. Look out for these Saturday at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 4 o'clock. Now, Saturday's big because it's a UCI e-racing qualifying event. And if you want to get yourself in there, and if you're a great rider, here's Claire. Go for it, Claire. 2.5k to go. It's stopped raining. Scenery's lovely. It's uphill a bit, so you go a bit slower and enjoy the scenery even more. As we just look at the places above you. David Buckley down at 49th, and David doesn't like a hill. Yesek Rohrback at 50th. I'm just a little bit intrigued about that, Yesek, because you are a strong rider, and I've seen you race people up hills before, so maybe you're just a bit out of practice. In fact, the last time Yesek did one of these races, I have to tell you, he did it on rollers, which I take my hat off to him, but he is a particularly strong rider living out there in Poland now, as we say. We're going to stick with you, Claire. You just keep doing it at your own pace. We're not going anywhere. It's fantastic. It is your first race, and I'm just wondering if Sean Murto's got across the line or not. I'm intrigued about that. No. I don't know what you do about it, Sean. Sometimes these mechanical dropouts do come back. So, well, Sean obviously hasn't switched off because his avatar's still there. Talking of avatars, here's a bit of hot news. I'm not sure whether or not we will have them yet, but in those Echelon races I was telling you about, don't forget Saturday is a UCI e-racing qualifying event. So you can get yourself in there. You might find yourself riding with the best at the end of all this. But in the Echelon races there is hand cycling as well, and there are going to be avatars for hand cycling. I know they've been drawn up. Whether or not they're operational or not, I'm not 100% sure. But if you tune in on Saturday, you might get to see avatars for hand cyclists, like the ones you're looking at now, Claire Thompson from Twickenham Cycling Club. You're going to see, actually talking about Twickenham, Jonathan Frost there in 31st place, just pipping Paul Hinson and Kevin Ensworth. Darryl Green from Watford in 36th, Pat Heron 35th, Ashley Dunstan 34th, Tomasz Poniatowski for Moon Riders in 37th, Matt Feely from Ireland, and as I say, my friend Andrew Beale from Ealing in 39th, Ian Suds 40th. We have spaces for 40, the top 40 on the classified results. The rest of it comes back to my memory, which is Never as good as it was when I was younger, but is reasonably okay, I think. So Claire now with just 1.4k to go, riding for Twickenham Cycling Club, who've got quite a few riders in it. Twickenham are new to RGT. They were all learning it, and I think the Watford guys as well. So well done to Twickenham and Watford for joining in the team competition this year. So we've got 3 local clubs. We've got Watford, Twickenham and Westerly all taking part. Some of the other teams like Ratio Racing, Moon Riders, Pocomotion are basically international teams conglomerated from riders within RGT. So 2 different types of teams. 3 actually, because I think Glasgow United are just phenomenal. It's just 2 riders and they always challenge up there at the top with Alistair and James, put in a fine performance. Claire gets another soaking from the rain. It's her avatar. Don't put on the rain jacket. It's only 900 metres to go, Claire. So thank you very much, everybody who's taken part in this today. We love doing this with ZMS. As I say, look out for Friday Frenzy, Southwood District Wheelers on Friday, and the Echelon Racing. And there's plenty more from OTR. They've put on a stream of events as well, all on RGT. So as I say, there's plenty more. You can go on the RGT website and or on Facebook pages or something like that. You'll find out what's going on. But OTR suddenly putting in I say suddenly, they've always been there, but they are putting a phenomenal amount on at the moment. As I say, we're friends from Southborough with their Friday Frenzy, and of course we're West London Cycling and we run the West London VR races every other Wednesday. We've now been doing them for I can't remember, I think we started about March 2020, just as the COVID thing came in. So we will be celebrating 2 years soon, and we're in Series 4. So 6 monthly series every other Wednesday, 7:30 UK time. Reasonably short races. This is the longest one we've ever done. Bear that in mind, Claire, as well, that I've made you do an extra couple of kilometres, because I usually target about 16 kilometres, but the laps just didn't work out to get that number right on this occasion. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another Fast and Furious thrilling race. I thoroughly enjoyed today's. I think this course has shaken it up a little bit, and we do try to make all the races slightly different. So some will be huge bunch sprints, but clearly this one, the hills, both the descent and the ascent, did cause problems. And I think poor old Sean Muerto has still not crossed the line and is going to get pipped by Claire. I would like to think that Sean will actually finish if he can, but we shall see. We shall see. No, he's stuck. Oh, that is cruel, Sean. That is really, really cruel. Anyway, an extra point for Claire and an extra point for her team, Twickenham CC. So we'll be back in a fortnight with another Fast and Furious 16k style races. They are all different, and some will be bunch sprints. This one has been interesting. It's shaking it up a bit, which keeps the series interesting, forcing Ned Bowen down to 9th position, which is unfamiliar territory for him, as Sean unfortunately sees Claire go past him, and we all salute Claire, who must be looking at that finishing line with some glee, and it'll probably reach her much slower than it seems to us. Only 60 metres to go, Claire, and then you're home and dry with the rest of the riders, as we see you gloriously come across the line to complete this week's races. So as I say, I'll be with you on Saturday commentating. I'm not sure, but I'm dying to ride one of the Friday Frenzy races, so I might even, if I can get out of work early enough, do the Friday Frenzy. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I'll certainly be commentating Saturday and Sunday, I believe, on the Echelon races. And there's plenty more on ZMS as well, so have a look at their Facebook page to see what's going on. Thank you very much for either racing, watching, or both, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye.